and welcome to the zoominghooskpodcast. And I'm your host, Dustin DaHusky.
And I'm Kurdan Sourpuss.
And welcome to another episode. How was your day?
Amazingly average.
I could say the same. There was more stuff going down at work, but we don't have enough time to really do it. And since our half day on Friday royally screwed us over today, the company gave us a half a day work day on Friday. However, I don't think they've actually put in consideration that people that actually work at this company actually need a full day to get something done.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, did it pile on us all day. And we still had to do Friday's work today. It was nuts.
Yes.
So I'm expecting my boss to run around with his head chopped off.
I'll chop his head off for you.
So what happened today was I was sending out emails and shipping to one of the sales office lady people thing. And
People things.
she wanted a tracking number to an old DHL order that we shipped out back in February, which...
You should just call her Normie. She's a Normie.
I think her name is Tamara. Yeah, her name is Tamara.
She's a Normie.
She is a normie. Anyway, she's asking about a tracking number that we made back in February. And now company records, we don't have any access to them anymore because now we check them off. We check out shipping records after a few weeks now. That's instead of like saving it for years and years and we can go back. Well, now they're doing it in the cloud, scanning it, putting it on the cloud. We don't have access to that. That's above us, and you'd think, because we ship the stuff, that's just as important of our part of our job to know no, they won't allow us. So that's already dumb. So I was asked 10 questions of how to get a tracking number from a DHL shipment back in February in 10 different ways. And my answer was the same every damn time.
Of course it was.
Why don't you check the G drive? Or why don't you check the G drive? Why don't you check the G drive? Check the G drive, and it's so on and so forth. Because I don't have access to it. And, February was a lifetime ago anyway. So
I'm sure your boss's butt buddy, IT guy, could probably help with that.
And now there's a story about him today which pissed me off.
Uh-oh.
So me and Charles are in shipping, and we have computers. We are on the Sourpuss network, which is a company proprietary operating system. It's not even Windows.
Of course not.
It's from 1984, and it's never been updated since 1984.
That's a great way to save money, by the way.
Hello, Internet people. My company do not believe in the device called a mouse. We use the enter bar and index numbers. Ooh.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah, we don't even use a mouse. We use a mouse. There's only one mouse in my whole department, and it's my shipping desk. That's the only way where I can still, get onto UPS or FedEx or whatever. Those machines do have mouses, but the rest of the company doesn't because it all enters on your number pad, selecting a 2-digit number and enter as a number index, which is ancient.
Yeah, sounds ancient.
So, our whole Sourpuss network froze on every single machine but another, and I was using that machine to print out labels, which I even told Charles not to touch it because that was the only machine that wasn't totally frozen. We couldn't ship things off of our system. We can ship things off of UPS and FedEx, but we can't record it into our system. So the salespeople don't know what orders have shipped off today. So my boss is gone, but his butt buddy, Rich, my boss wasn't here all day today, okay? Rich was looking around for him 4 times today, knowing that he was already gone. Or he wasn't even there.
Well, he must really miss him.
He must really miss him because he went walking around in the warehouse, just walking around, realizing, oh yeah, Ryan's not here, and then he walks away. It's like, wow.
You should have put like a picture of him like up so that Ryan...
I want a good picture of him to do something like that.
So Ryan can be like, there he is.
So, we had troubles with the scanners today on my deliveries. I could not enter factory codes, nor could I enter item codes. So, I had to do everything manually, and of course, the scanner is on the fritz, because it's touchscreen with a stylus, which helps. Well, anytime I wanted to press enter, it would press, like, trying to explain this to the internet people in the world. So, you imagine a keyboard. Okay, you're looking at your keyboard right now. I want to press P. For some reason, it's clicking on J. I want to click on T, but it is clicking on S. It is actually shifted towards the southwest on a keyboard, wherever...
So, over 2 rows and down a row. What a mess up.
Yeah. And we emailed Rich this morning to come check it out. Never showed up. Then today, the Tolus network finally froze on all machines but one, and we did not want to dare use the other machine, because we were going to freeze that one up too, guaranteed. We emailed him an hour before closing, hey, we have a issue with Tolus, can you come over and check, can you pretty much check it out for us.
Like run like a diagnostic.
Right. Guess what? Rich left 2 hours before his own shift would even end. So he left home early.
Who's your IT guy?
This is our only IT guy. We only have one IT guy, and he went home 2 hours early. Or he went home 2 hours early than he should, at 3 o'clock.
Because Ryan wasn't there.
Nope. Well, he's his own department, so he can do what he wants to do. On Thursday, I caught him listening to his headphones in a back room while looking for light bulb ballasts. I just found him chilling out in the back room in the most sketch way possible, as if he was hiding from people to not know that he was there. The guy, why do we pay someone $60,000 a year for IT work?
$60,000.
I'm guessing, but he probably makes good money because he's IT.
From that company, I doubt he's being paid that much.
My boss makes $50,000 to sit on his ass, so I'm assuming
he might be claiming 40.
That'd be disgusting for how long? Because Rich has been there for about 20 years. Anyway, so now we have an IT guy that's totally gone, and we can't ship anything off the system. Well, we just kind of washed our hands off the issue and say, hey, we did what we did.
Yeah.
We asked the only IT guy, and he wasn't even around. In fact, he left 2 hours early, and he probably didn't need to.
But his buddy Ryan wasn't there, so why stay?
Exactly. Yeah. My company's hierarchy is fucked.
Sounds like it.
Beyond that, I had a normal, busy day.
Mine was pretty much the same as it is every day.
Aww.
We have one person that can't speak English, and I have no issues with this. Like I've actually brought up in the previous podcast.
He's a Cuban, right?
We had a guy from Cuba. Nicest guy. Was trying desperately to learn English so he could communicate better with the people he worked with.
Which is
Commendable.
honorable.
Very commendable. Because he's making the effort.
Right. And
I made the effort as well to speak Spanish to him.
It's my opinion that if you came from another country and you moved here and you want to live here, all for you.
Yeah.
But your language alone isn't going to cut it with almost everyone here. You can learn, you can keep speaking your language to your loved ones. you can retain all the cultures and history that you know of your old country.
Of course.
But you should also learn the language of the country you're moving to. And I commend them
Only for this purpose. This is the only reason I can say that.
to
That
work
they
there.
should learn English.
Or at least say, hey, if you agree that if you move in this country, please learn some form of English that it's not so hard for you
Right.
to get around.
But here's why. If you don't ever learn English, you are limiting yourself
That too.
socially,
Economically.
economically.
And professionally.
Yeah, that's it. If you just stick within that, then you'll always be stuck within your language's limitations because of certain places only hire, I'm just going to throw it out there, lawn care.
Yeah.
A lot of lawn care companies will hire people, from over the border because, cheap employment.
Right.
So this is an example. But
anyway,
I'm
you were
not.
going back to...
Well, I'm not bashing anybody that does not speak the language,
right.
but I
It
do commend.
helps a lot.
I do commend anybody who makes the effort, even later in life, to learn a second language. I am not fluent by any means in Spanish, but I tried my hardest to communicate with this guy. But we have a girl at my new location. She's made no effort to learn.
Isn't she German?
No,
Oh.
that's my supervisor. And she speaks fluent English. But we had another one, Damaris, and she is happily not trying to learn any other language. I mean, and she's unmotivated. She's lazy. I've tried to be friendly with her. I've asked her to do things. And most of the time she responds well because I'm respectful.
Mm-hmm.
I am not disrespectful. But I can see the laziness. And that, to me, speaks volumes. And I'm not even talking about her language or her background or ethnicity. If I see someone who's unmotivated, that, to me, is a bad employee, regardless of your ethnicity or first or second language. I have a real problem with people that lack good work ethics. So that's what I'm looking at, first and foremost. It's coincidental that she only speaks Spanish, because I can communicate with her. Like 20 minutes before we open, we still had a pallet on the floor. Our department is the only department, well, the whole fresh department really, meats, produce, bakery, deli. We're not allowed to have a pallet on the floor because we're supposed to give the illusion that everything is all done in-house.
Oh.
Even though we don't really have a, what's it called? There's a guy that does the meat.
Butcher?
A butcher. We're supposed to give the illusion that we have a butcher. They used to even give the guys that worked in the meat department white coats to wear.
Ooh.
So they look like butchers.
And then people who work in the electronics section wear buttoned-up shirts that are very professional.
And the guys that try to sell you on a new internet provider that you love so much. Hey, who's your internet provider? And you're just like, run. You just like zoom away.
It's literally...
It's awful.
So, if you have Time Warner as an internet provider, that's literally 99% of everyone in southeast Wisconsin.
Yep.
They asked me, of all people, I was walking towards the automotive section because I had to walk across the electronics, DVD, CD aisle, really section of Walmart, which in New Berlin it's the furthest section.
Most of them it's the same back at the back half of the store.
And they stop me and say, hey, excuse me, what's your internet provider? Time Warner. Oh, okay. Have a nice day. Because you know what? I've learned this, but also I spoke the truth because it's literally Time Warner. They're not going to say, hey, you have Time Warner, right? Yeah. Well, how about we give you a better deal? I'm like, okay, no, I'm just not. No, you already have me on one tier of internet connection. I don't need more from your shit. No.
Because they want to sell people in bundles, right?
Right.
The whole internet, phone, TV.
What I tend to do in life to make things easier for me is when anyone asks, even if it's something that you dislike, or, hey, can I do a survey? Who are you going to vote for in the 2008 election? And depending on who they're for, I'll say whatever candidate just to get myself out of there.
Yep.
Oh, it'll be Obama. Oh, okay, and then they check me down. Or if it's someone from McCain and say, oh, I'll vote for McCain. Like, oh, okay. So it's just the path of least resistance until it really messes with you when they ask more about something that, like, oh, fuck, I didn't expect to be, like, going that far. Oh, so you're with Time Warner, huh? Which provider do you have, or no, what bundle do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh, the Hoosk bundle.
Aw.
It's just literally a box full of shed fur.
Aw. Yes.
Yeah.
So today was Damaris's day to work. She basically picks and chooses when she can come in.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't follow her scheduled hours.
But she still shows up.
Sometimes.
Oh, boy.
Like I said, she has bad work ethics. Sometimes she's there at 4 when I get there. Sometimes she shows up at 6. Sometimes she shows up at 7. So today was Tuesday. We opened 1 hour early because we opened for seniors, which we don't have any seniors coming in there at 6 o'clock. It's everybody and their mother and their. But yeah, like I was saying, we have to give the illusion that everything is made in house. Like we just picked the apples off a tree and plopped it into the display
That's
case.
dumb.
I know, it's so stupid. All the other departments in the store can have pallets on the floor. You know, lawn and garden, housewares, sporting goods, hardware. They can all have a pallet on the floor, but we can't. So it was about 10-15 minutes till we still had a pallet of bananas because we don't have bananas around here. And I said, Damaris, she was culling the floor, which we've talked about before. Culling is cutting, which essentially means we're cutting our losses, or pulling all the
Expired products.
expired, moldy, bad fruit and vegetables. And she's sitting there looking at an apple for like a minute, like really inspecting it, really getting a good look at it from every angle. And I'm like, we have bananas to do. Could you finish filling those so I can get that pallet off the floor? It took her a while, but she finally went over and did it. But I shouldn't have to ask someone who's been there longer than me to do something that I know has to be done. But
She looks at a apple the same way how I look at ball bearings. Where I really inspect my ball bearings. But if you're spending and you're concentrating on an apple, then you're spending a good 5-10 minutes on an apple. You know you're in the wrong job when you can stare at an apple for 10 minutes.
she made it look like she was really interested in that apple.
She made it look like she made it a science.
She did. It was crazy. I had a question for you.
What's
This
up?
is work related for me, anyway. Probably not you. Do you know what eproctophilia is?
Nope.
Okay. Well, as you know, I've been more active in my AD account. We've looked at butts together.
Yes.
So this is butt related.
Of course.
Of course, we're already going.
However, it's still butts though, so
We're going down that road though, folks. Sorry about it.
we're going down that hole.
We're going down that hole. That big, black, gaping hole.
Damn.
Point of no return. So, from what I understand, I have not looked it up. This is merely by going by this guy's Twitter account. I'm not
Okay.
going to name any names. It's not a fur. But he did have artwork and pictures. The first picture I saw was just basically a guy with his butt aimed right at the camera. You could see his face and his legs and arms and everything, but the butt was the focal point of the photo.
Okay.
If you had to like line up the crosshair,
It'd be centered
the
on.
butthole would be in the center, right on that crosshair.
So this guy edited his photos to.
Well, this wasn't even an edit. This was just purposely taken like this.
So he took time in taking every single picture to make sure his butt's front and center.
Every bit of care was taken in this photo that he took of himself.
Every area was waxed.
Yep. And bleached.
Oh God, he can taste the bleach at that point.
Well, somebody can taste it. He can't. We're
Oh.
talking down there.
I mean, if you bleach yourself enough, you could taste it.
I suppose you can. I don't know. I've never done it. But so in the guy's Twitter, like bio, yeah, thank you. It said, I'm into eproctophilia. If you're not into that, block me now. Because apparently this guy's gotten shit from people before.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, what is it?
So my understanding, because of what he's posted and shared, is farts.
Oh, okay, all right. I was not expecting that.
Right. But I don't think it's just smelling them.
Cake farts.
What's a cake fart?
No.
What's a cake fart?
Apparently, it's this show on HBO back in the day where they do weird things on HBO late night TV, and it's supposed to be like fetishes and whatnot, and it's a clown bending over and squatting over a cake, where he just farts over a cake. I don't know why that's a thing. Of course it's a thing because it's on TV, but
Yes. But I think I may have to do research on this and get back to you
you have
guys.
to do research.
I don't think it's just about smelling it. I think it's the act of seeing the sphincter release the fart.
Is that what that's all about?
I think so. I could be way off. I could be way off. It could just be enjoys farts in general. But my take on it was just like, I love
We've reached a new low.
I love seeing your butt fart.
I like to see your ass dilate.
Yes.
Oh, come on. You were talking about butts, so I thought about butts. It's like, okay, all right. So it's got to be about picturing the perfect ass.
I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm off or wrong. And that's fine. I'm completely fine with being wrong. I'm virgin to this stuff.
I'm like in another universe to hear this other stuff. It's like, ooh, what's that? Oh. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys to it.
Yeah. So that's what we talked about at work today.
So that's okay. So
Me and
you were
Lauren,
talking about like golden rain or rain on me,
golden showers.
golden showers.
Yep, that's what we called the Lady Gaga song. Rain on Me is golden shower song. She even started to tell Eric, the department manager of produce, that we were singing a song that we had written. I'm like, don't tell him that. We don't want to tell him about golden showers. We're back here putting stuff away. Oh,
So
God.
you guys were talking about farts.
Yes.
How? Why?
We're bored.
How?
We're bored.
That's a good enough reason, but still,
We're really bored.
if it's a long enough conversation,
I mean, she was talking about, what the hell was she talking about? I talked about farts. She talked about getting peed. Oh, she was telling
she's into water sports.
no,
Oh.
she's not. But she was like, Eric, open wide.
I wasn't exactly certain what that sentence was going to go into. Like,
She was like, Eric, open wide, golden showers. Eric is the department manager. He's not really our supervisor, but he is above us. Let somebody want to tell the open wide.
you know what? I'm sure he's heard a lot of stuff over the years.
He's a funny guy. I love him so much. I absolutely adore him. He's funny. He started singing a song because he heard that we were singing a song. It's so funny. He's got such a great attitude. He is the absolute joy to work with. He is. I love him. I also do want to just mention that this episode was brought to us by Yellowtail Rosé wine.
It's a roux.
It's a roux. Sorry about it, Renegade.
Amelia.
We're drinking your piss.
Whoa! We went there now.
I don't even know how that happened. I didn't have that written down in my notes. Sorry, Renegade Rue.
There's a big bottle.
It is a lot of piss. By the way,
Why?
that guy. Do you follow Renegade Rue?
Yes.
I am floored by his content because of, like, I followed him when he was kind of started on YouTube.
When he was a small shit
When he was
poster.
a small ship poster on Twitter, and who he's become. I'm proud to say that I follow him and that he even follows me back, because I enjoy his content so much, and he is an inspiration. I like him. That's all I'll say about him. I don't know. Your opinion about Renegade Rue?
I like him. He seems like a really nice guy.
He does.
A lot of the stuff he comes up is incredibly clever, which I get jealous because it's like, damn, I should have thought of that. 'Cause
Yep.
That's just too cool.
Yeah. He does a lot of that. And I do a lot of that. I should have thought of that.
Rarely do I ever think of something so bizarre and great at the same time. I have my moments, but that's like few and far in between.
Yes.
But boy, do I have some zingers when they do happen.
Ah.
Like today. After getting the 9th or 10th email back about the same question, I literally kind of screamed out loud, "How the fuck did you get this job?" And everyone kind of like looked around me and say, "It's Tamara," and like, "Oh, okay," and they all went back to work.
Whoops.
I mean, for real though, you just have to think of stuff or say stuff that's just kind of just odd.
Yep. So, I know you wanted something, or you had something that you wanted to talk about.
Yes,
What was it?
I want to talk about pizza. And not just, oh, do you like pizza? I like pizza. Let's talk about certain brands of pizza. And I'm not talking about stuff that you can buy in the freezer section of your local grocer.
Walmart.
But I'm talking about a sit-down place, something to enjoy, something to relax to, have fun with your friends, and have lots and lots of good pizza. I figure let's talk about pizza places that we've at least been to, pizza places I've heard, we may both have heard that wouldn't mind going to someday when the pandemic is no longer among us. So, let's actually start off.
It's a lot.
And
That's a lot of piss. Sorry.
I'm gonna call you the piss cat.
Mamma mia, it's a lot of pizza.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
And you're not even drunk yet.
I am a little bit. You know me.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that was booze. Oh, you already started. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Anyway. It's a shout out to Xander now.
It always is.
So.
He should probably copyright that.
We should. Kind of like how McDonald's tried to copyright McJob.
Yeah. I mean, at least the sing-songiness of the anyway, he could copyright the sing-songiness of it.
Mm-hmm. So.
Anyway.
Giordano Pizza.
Giordano's, yes.
Pretty good.
It is. It's not bad pizza. It's
not bad pizza. It's good pizza. However, I'm of the opinion, it's great, but it's not top shelf. I'm going to break some minds and some hearts saying that. It is good pizza. Don't get me wrong. It's worth the 90-minute wait to get it in Chicago. At least we waited one time for 90 minutes, and it was still well worth it. But oh my God,
that's a long ass wait for pizza.
Yeah, and yeah, but then again, when you're desperate, but then you're desperate to walk out too, because you realize you can get food a lot faster elsewhere. But you know what, Giordano's.
90 minutes. That's an hour and a half.
Normally it's 45 minutes, but holy Christ, that one time was bad. But you know what? Great deep dish pizza. It'll fill you up.
Right.
But I don't think Chicago should be limited to just one brand of pizza.
Well,
because
it's not, though.
And I've been to Gino's East.
Yeah, there's Gino's East.
That's some good pizza, too. In fact, Gino's East even has a frozen pizza line that you can get at Pick and Save.
And Walmart.
And at Walmart for actually not a lot of money. And you know what? You toss it in your oven for about, 50 minutes? An hour?
Yeah, it's like 45, 50 minutes.
And you know what? It tastes just like going to the restaurant, except smaller pizza.
Yeah,
so,
it's not bad.
It's really not that bad.
I actually had somebody complain to me about that pizza that you mentioned.
Well,
they said it was too crunchy. And I'm like, it's supposed to be.
You know what?
It's a deep-ass pizza with sauce on the top. It's got to hold all that.
Are they saying that it's soft because of everything on the crust, or is it they're talking about the crust?
The crust itself. He was complaining it was too crunchy.
You know what?
Go to a dentist.
I've had so many different types of deep dish pizza. Not a single deep dish pizza is the same. It's like any single American car of the 1960s. Sure. You will never find an exact car like the one you look at a car show. It's going to be unique as hell.
Sure.
From the factory.
Sometimes you'll have soft crust, sometimes you'll have hard crust.
And from the ovens of these pizzerias, each pizza is made differently anyway. Yeah, they're made similar, but they're going to be cooked a minute faster a minute sooner or a minute later. And it's going to taste the same.
It might be cooked 5 or 10 degrees hotter or colder.
Exactly.
And that makes all the difference.
And really, I've never had... Of course, I burned my face, but then again, that's all about hot pizza. But really, I've never complained so much about Chicago deep dish. But then I don't complain about pizza in general, because I just like pizza. It's one of those easy things to make me happy. Hey, give me a pizza, right. I'll swirl.
And that's one of those pizzas where if you reheat it the next day after refrigerating it...
It tastes better.
Well, not just tastes better, the crust softens.
That too. Yep.
So if really crunchy, crispy crust is not your forte, don't eat it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Let it sit. Let it soften.
Or that, or if I don't know, it's just something strange to complain about crust being hard. Which for some people like hard crust on a pizza
I do.
because it's easier to handle things with crust.
I like a crispy crust.
I don't mind soft, but then when it's too soft, it's kind of functionally useless.
When
Then
the
it's
pizza
sad.
droops.
Yeah, it's like a sad penis.
And I mean, I entirely get the mind. Like in my mind, I get the vision of what's her name from SNL, the pizza eater.
Oh yeah, her. I totally forget the name.
What's
It ain't gonna come to me anytime soon.
Yeah,
But that one skit about
she's got the pizza. And
she has pizza, and it's a business for
eating pizza.
not just eating pizza that's leftovers.
Yes.
Solely for leftovers. Her business is solely to sell pizza that are already considered
To
leftovers.
eat pizza, not to sell pizza, just to eat pizza.
That are leftovers. She didn't say brand new pizza. She made that clear.
Yeah, she made it very clear. And like the pizza that she has is this droopy. You can see that it's soft,
Right.
like that.
So, Chicago's got some great pizza, and everywhere you'll get good fine pizza. Chicago's not a place where you always want to put your hat on as far as pizza. There's New York style pizza, which I've been to New York. However, didn't really go anywhere else. It was the 90s, and I just followed my folks, so we never really did anything, which was dumb. And I've had traditional Italian pizza, if I can call it traditional pizza, because in Italy, pizza's tourist food. They don't eat pizza in Italy, which is
Not really.
funny.
Well,
I don't know. When I went to Rome, I didn't see a single Italian eat anything close to a pizza. And the only thing that came close was a calzone, and that was it.
I'm sure they have a few neighborhood pizzerias.
I mean, Italian pizza is great overall. I've taken pictures of every single one because they're amazing. Thing is, we literally asked the local, how much pizza do you eat on average in the middle
Not
of
much.
Rome?
Not
And
much.
apparently they say, oh, we don't eat that stuff. It's for tourists.
Okay.
They say, if we're going to eat Italian food, we're going to eat Italian food. Pizza is on the low bucket on that whole list.
Yep.
However, let's go back to America and talk more about pizza. Marty's Pizza.
Yes.
I don't know where Marty's headquarters is based out of. I do not know. There's a location in Brookfield, Illinois, Brookfield, Wisconsin, not Brookfield, Illinois. That got some good pizza.
Yes.
And with similar wait times as Giordano's.
Square.
Oh yeah, very square
Pizza.
looking pizza. Yep.
Mm.
And they don't do
use-
deep dish, but
They
they do
literally
thin.
use a classic square-shaped frying pan to do their
Yeah.
pizza. It's genius, especially for me, who likes to cut the pizza into squares.
It's more convenient.
Yeah.
It's good on a plate.
Yeah.
Marty's Pizza, they don't make deep dish, which is okay because you know what? Their thin crust
Yeah.
is amazing. It's to die for. It's a bit greasy, but you know what? Really, not bad pizza. And even if people bash about it, I don't know why, but you may have your own reasons. But Marty's Pizza is not a bad choice for, putting it on a pizza list. Because I've been to Giordano's, I've been to Gino's East, of course Marty's. Well, here's a local pizzeria place that makes fantastic local pizzas. Crossroads. And that's solely like a Milwaukee, New Berlin sort of thing. But it's still pretty good, though. I just don't know if anyone else knows about Crossroads.
I've never heard of it.
They make sub sandwiches, but I never go there for their sub sandwiches.
Why have I never heard of it?
I just go there for their pizza. And they make pasta, but they're good known for pizza anyway, and why deviate from that? So, Here's some pizza places that I would not mind actually trying out in the future.
Yeah.
Just because I've heard about them, I've been recommended them, but never had the chance because I have to be in the area for them. One of them is Emo's Pizza. Apparently they're based out of St. Louis. However, they have locations all over the Midwest. They have a lot of locations in Chicago, which means if you have multiple pizza locations that are not from Chicago, in Chicago, you know you're doing pretty good. But I would not mind trying Emo's Pizza, just to say I've tried it, check it out. Pequod's Pizza, I heard, is also good.
Oh.
Then, one more. Oh Boy's Pizza.
Oh, boy.
And it was recommended by Alkali to go try them out at some point. And apparently from what he told me is the pizza's so greasy that you can take a wet nap, or not a wet nap, but just any napkin, put it on the pizza, and the grease, it absorbs the grease so much that it disappears into the pizza. It is a heart attack waiting to happen. And I would not mind cutting out a few months of my life just to maybe try said pizza.
I've got a place for you.
Okay.
Downers Grove Bowling.
Okay. Around the corner.
Aurelio's Pizza.
Is that the one around the corner?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
pizza.
good pizza.
Aurelio's Pizza, originally, I think, according to my parents, because it's been around that long,
Right.
originated in Indiana, Homewood.
Really?
Actually, not Indiana, but close to the Homewood, Illinois, which is right on the border of Illinois and Indiana. My mom used to go there when she was younger.
Really?
Yes. Aurelio's has really good pizza. Really, really good pizza.
And what other pizza do you like?
My pizza.
Mod Pizza is a good personal pizza. Yep.
My pizza's good. We've heard from your bro, the Long Cat,
Yeah.
that what's the place that's like Mod?
It's Blaze.
Blaze Pizza we hear is fail.
It's a total fail because they charge per topping instead of just per size.
It's bad. Unless it's a really cheap or like minuscule charge per topping.
I haven't been to it, but the one on National, which used to be Discount Tires or Mr. P's Tires or something like
That's
that.
right, Mr. P's Tires. I remember that.
Apparently the Blaze Pizza was new last summer. My brother tried it out. And he says the pizza wasn't bad. It's just, it was a bit more pricey than Mod's Pizza.
Being charged for those toppings is
Because
kind of
if you got a mod-sized pizza, it's $11. But regardless of what you put on it, it's still $11.
$11. Yep.
So in this case, you're better off loading your mod pizza as much as you can.
Yep.
Because that's how you get most of all your money if it's a
Yes.
set cost. Because if you have just an ordinary marinara cheese pizza, you're paying $11 for something simple.
Yeah.
You can do that, but that's a lot of money for not a lot of toppings. So
Yeah.
you may as well load up your pizza.
Load it.
Where else with Blaze, it starts off at a cheap price,
And it goes up.
and then it goes up with every topping you put on.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that it didn't stay long enough. And of course, the pandemic kind of killed the restaurant because it's no longer there anymore.
Which is why my third pizza on the list for me is my own pizza.
My own pizza?
My own pizza.
And where is that out of?
Out of your mom's kitchen.
Oh, wait a minute. We make our own pizzas.
Well, I buy a cheese pizza.
Oh, okay. I see exactly where you're going.
And then we add our own cheeses
It meats.
and meats and toppings, mushrooms, onions, olives, tomatoes.
Pretty much anything that you want.
Yep.
And frankly, it's not a bad idea. It's something I enjoy doing.
And my own special garlic, onion, topping, seasoning.
Because you're better off buying, like, as many ordinary cheese pizzas as you want. Freeze them. Get as many meat toppings as you like on a pizza, cheeses, onions, whatever.
Yep.
And literally pull a cheese pizza out of the box, out of your freezer. You have a party. Okay? You have some furs over. Everyone wants a certain type of pizza, but they don't want something on it. Well, you know what? You can go to Domino's.
You could.
And 5 or 6 stores.
And they've even improved their pizza a little bit as far as like a takeout pizza place.
Right. But you can go to your
It's still not my go-to.
One freezer. I'm trying to make a reference.
Oh, yeah. You go to 5 or 6 stores or just one?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you could actually put whatever on a pizza, and if someone only wanted 2 or 3 slices, you only put whatever amount of toppings on that side of pizza. And if someone wanted, just pepperoni on a pizza, you could do that.
Yes.
Pretty much, it's a fantastic way to customize a pizza without actually making it. Or you go my mom's route.
Yes.
You make a whole damn pizza by scratch, which is incredible.
It is.
Holy moly, it is fantastic.
Homemade pizza is the best, for sure. Especially if she's making the dough from scratch.
My mom makes dough from scratch, so
Yep.
and tomato.
I'm all for that.
Yeah,
She's got homegrown tomatoes, so.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I'm
getting like the Jimmy legs just thinking about it.
Aw.
I love homemade pizza.
As much as I enjoy going out with friends, go get a pizza, or you dine out, sometimes it's just, you know how you can stay at home and order a pizza and have fun at home, or you go to a restaurant and you have fun at the restaurant, right?
Yes.
Nothing's more fun and more tempting by making a pizza for 2-3 hours, but you make enough ingredients to make almost 2, 3, or even 4 homemade pizzas that will last you for almost 2 weeks.
Just 4 homemade? Wow, I'm drunk. Just 4 pizzas?
And these are big pizzas, like...
Oh, okay.
Have you ever had one of our homemade pizzas?
No. Yes, maybe.
You have at least had to.
It may have been years ago.
Because we've been together 5 years,
And
if you've never had a homemade pizza by my mom,
yeah,
I am shocked that you have not.
You haven't had the pleasure yet of having my dad's homemade pizza.
No.
We made enough dough for like 8 pizzas. 8 or 9 pizzas. Usually the last pizza is a deep dish, where we literally put it into like
a mold.
2.5-inch dish. And load it up.
We should do that someday.
We should.
In your dad's style, too. So whatever he would put in it.
I'm sure that the recipe for the crust is probably similar.
I'm
the one thing my
sure
dad
it's universal.
does, cornmeal on the underside of the crust so it doesn't stick to the pans.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
And that's something that none of the places we even mentioned touch. None of them do cornmeal. And cornmeal is amazing because, like your mom's discovery with using parchment paper for just about baking everything, cornmeal acts as
natural parchment paper
for pizza.
Because that's what peasants used. You couldn't really afford paper all that much that often. Because
Put cornmeal under it.
You may as well throw cornmeal because it was a lot more cheaper.
Keep it from sticking to
any cast iron pan that you're yeah.
Yep, it's genius, honestly.
You might be a peasant family living.
I'm a peasant right now.
What?
I am a peasant poos.
I mean, at this point, I guess I'm peasant Hoosk too.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really fun one day to make a homemade pizza. Get my mom to make enough dough. Do a homemade...
I want to be there for the whole process because I love...
Do a homemade Frederick-style pizza.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it entails. Let's make it in the awesome... Let's actually make it in the form of your dad. Because he is cool.
I have the recipe somewhere. I have to dig it up.
Cool.
But... we make the dough the day prior, so that it takes all day to rise.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you end up with literally the biggest bowl that you can find, which is probably about a foot wide in all directions, of course. I can't think of diameter.
And then you loaf on it.
And you loaf on it until it rises and pushes you
And then
out
it's got
of it.
cat beans on it.
Cat beans in the pizza dough.
What is that? Oh, it's just prints from a cat bean. Aw.
Are we going to dabble a little bit in 80s cartoons?
Yeah, so let's actually do that because...
I know you jotted down a few things.
So,
I'm
pretty
gonna
much...
throw out real quick Tom and Jerry
Okay.
as my number one for not even 80s, but just cartoons in general. 80s cartoons, if I have to go 80s, I have to go Gummy Bears again.
Yep. It's got a fantastic theme song.
Fantastic theme song.
From a time period where theme songs rule the roost.
Yep.
Even if the show sucked, it had a great theme song.
Custom written for that show.
Yep, and nothing else. And you know, I'm sure the guy probably got a lot of money from it. Or probably not. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure he's sitting pretty still.
So, Thundercats from 1985.
Yes.
Because the bodies all look the same, kind of like He-Man, which is another one I want to mention. It's furry, in a sense, because they look like cats.
Cats, yes.
They have a sword, and they're somewhat wearing like a unitard tight outfit. So their
Which
entire...
speaks volumes to me.
Which their whole legs are exposed.
Yeah.
You can touch the legs.
Yeah. I wish the spandex descended down past the crotch area. But it stopped at the cat balls.
So, and then of course I mentioned it, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That's 1983, and you know what? The intro to that's pretty cool.
Yes.
It's so 80s because a lot of these, a lot of the theme titles of these shows have some kind of like monochrome look to it anyway, so you know it's 80s when it looks like chrome.
Yep.
Of course, you've got everybody looks the same. You know, big barrel chest with giant pecs.
Yep.
Even Skeletor, a man of skeleton, is fleshy elsewhere.
As we just mentioned in the previous episodes. So he's got a great body.
He has a great body for being partially
Covered
dead.
in spandex, too, mind you.
He-Man and his...
I would let that skeleton fuck me.
I'm sure Drager would probably enjoy the same thing too. I don't know. He mentioned Skeletor a few times.
Did he? I would let Skeletor fuck me. I would fuck Skeletor. He's got magnificent glutes.
He does.
Yeah, I would fuck Skeletor. I would pay money to see Dragor fuck Skeletor.
It's gonna be his balls featuring Dragor.
Yeah, I would.
I'm not making fun of you, man. We just love you too much.
Tribute to. Yeah, I would pay money to see Dragor plow Skeletor.
It's gonna be his balls doing the plowing.
I would pay money to see that, man.
He would be like straddling a lift, and then the lift would have like tongs that would lift him up, not himself, his package.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh
yes.
Here's actually one that I watched as a kid, and even though this began in the 1980s, it continued into the 90s.
Is it another one with muscular butts?
Actually, no.
I'm surprised.
DuckTales.
Um,
DuckTales. Woo!
Actually, there's a muscular duck in there.
There is a muscular duck.
What's his name?
Would you touch him?
Yeah.
You would touch the hell out of him.
What's his name?
I don't know what's his name. It's been so long since I've
He's
seen
like
that
the
show.
inventor / gizmo guy. Oh my god, what is his name?
Is he ripped?
He's pretty buff. He's a buff duck.
You would play with his beak.
I can't think of his name though. Fuck. I'll come back to you guys, I promise. I'm going to do research right now while he's going through this list. Oh god, what is his name?
I don't know, but I think you're gonna have to come back on that.
I'll have to come back. I'll find it. DuckTales.
So, what are some shows that you can list off?
Smurfs.
Okay. Oh, I wonder if that's also viewed in Europe as well, because I wouldn't be surprised.
Although I'm even embarrassed to even admit that, but because of the affiliation with the KKK.
I never thought of it like that before.
Because they all wear white.
But they're like the Blue Man. Oh, God damn
White
it.
hats, white pants.
Wait a minute. Are the Smurfs the Blue Man group that are racist, but short?
They're not even racist so much. I mean, they're everything is Smurfy with them.
I mean, Smurfette. I mean, like, when you give a character a
Smurfette
name...
was a product of Gargamel.
Yes.
Which I'm surprised you even know that. Like, literally, Gargamel made Smurfette to infiltrate the Smurfs. Like, and then they just, like, acquired her and just, like, they all...
The old plouter.
They don't say that in the cartoon, but I'm sure they all had sex
Dude,
with her.
If you're like in a small village of Smurf men, of course they're gonna bang the one. Holy cow, we got a chick finally.
One blue vagina. But I mean, why?
And like a ton of blue dicks.
Why not just fuck all the blue butts though?
And then at that point, there's one guy who's oddly enough green, but they accept him too.
I guess. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Before they had Smurfette, they were all just fucking each other.
So they're all bi.
And they were all like, "Hey, she's got an extra hole.
She has an extra hole.
Let's plow that."
Okay.
Want me to throw another one at you?
Sure.
That's a good fun. Come over. She-Ra.
Yes, She-Ra. She-Ra, the Princess of Power or something?
Yes. And I only watched it because it featured He-Man.
Yep. I think the shows go 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, it was always He-Man first and then She-Ra afterwards. If he was not in an episode, I was pissed off as a child. This is me as a very young poos. If I didn't see He-Man's spandex butt, or spandex legs, really, it was a furry Speedo, but spandex legs. If I didn't see him in an episode of She-Ra, I felt ripped off. I was angry. I was like, what? Why wasn't He-Man in an episode with She-Ra?
Aww.
I was mad.
Mad poos.
Yeah, I was.
So, this one I saw only in reruns, but then again, this show began a decade before I was even a thing. Inspector Gadget. I did see the reruns of that show sometime in the 90s. I don't know, but didn't last that long.
Yes.
Now, this one is a show I watched a lot. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
It was a good show.
This one, G.I. Joe, which I never really watched, but...
They actually made a really good game based off Chip and Dale for the Nintendo Entertainment Center system, the 8-bit.
Okay.
Great game. Good show.
Oh.
Real quick, before you go there, Launchpad McDuck.
Launchpad McDuck.
He had a cleft beak.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay, all right.
He was a total stud.
He was.
He had the parachute pants. What kind of pants do you call those?
Cargo pants.
Cargo pants?
Or just call them pants. He's wearing pants.
He had a very thin waist, very wide chest and shoulders, very broad shoulders. He was a hunk. He was the hunk of that show. He was also an idiot.
Yep.
He was a harebrained idiot, which goes. I mean, it is literally he was the jock.
Mm-hmm.
He was the jock of DuckTales, and I loved him.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes.
Yes. And also the subsequent movies.
Alvin, Simon, Theodore, we're the Chipmunks.
Let's see.
Alvin. Alvin always got in trouble. Theodore was a little chubby little guy.
Yep.
Good show.
Beetlejuice.
The show, the animated series,
Yep.
so good. The theme to that was great. I loved it.
I grew up to a few of the episodes of that show. I remember it a lot. It didn't really get to me that well, but I do remember seeing it on
I remember
air.
them riding this roller coaster that ended up being his tail.
Oh, yes! Yes!
In the intro.
Yep. Okay, yep. I totally remember that now.
It was a great show, great intro. The movie itself could not do that show justice.
No.
And the animated series came after the movie.
Yep.
It was a great show. I loved it.
Let's see.
Scrooge McDuck. Darkwing Duck, which I never really watched.
I did watch that show.
I never watched it. I probably should have.
It's a pretty good show. I don't know how well it held up because I've not seen it since the 90s.
You know.
And a lot of show from the 80s and 90s, some held up good. Some kind of just, you're better off remembering in your childhood.
Probably.
Gem, you mentioned Gem.
Yep.
You mentioned Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Apparently, now this is a show I grew up watching. Dragon Ball Z started in 1989.
Yeah.
So,
At least the American version. I think it was older than that in Japan.
I'm sure. Thunder the Barbarian from 19...
Thundar. I have got a VH of Thundar. VHS.
We should watch it.
Yep. I still have that. I brought that with me.
The New Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Yep.
Elf, the animated series. Dragon Ball began in 1986.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Now, this is one show I never watched. However, for some reason, my family had acquired a toy set from this show, like merchandise. No idea where it ever came from, and no idea where it is, because I'm sure it's collectible. My Little Pony from 1984, we had the original toy set somewhere, and I don't even know what it was, but I kind of looked at it and just thought, oh, that's kind of odd. Didn't think too much about it until Friendship is Magic or something like that. It's like, oh, I remember this.
Yes, Friendship is Magic.
Count Duckula is one that I don't remember, and that's 1988, and I don't think that
Duckula.
probably... I have heard of Dennis the Menace.
Yep, Dennis Menace. Heathcliff was one. Remember the cartoon
Yes.
cat, Heathcliff?
Yep.
He was real sassy, though, and talked way too much.
Apparently there's a show called The Raccoons, but I never heard of this one before. However, here's one that I remember fondly. The Littles.
Yes.
Now, let's talk more about ripped bodies.
Okay.
Defenders of the Earth.
Vaguely.
Except they're not as built as He-Man, though.
Vaguely. They were trying to normalize the human body so the standards weren't as high.
Hi. You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's not a dog, it's a ferret. It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. I don't even know why Rocco's Modern Life is in this list. It's 1993. It's not 80s.
Rocco's, yeah. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Stop it! Stop it!
I am Detective John Kimball.
I am Detective John Kimball.
Bullshit. I'm just going through this list, and nothing really speaks to mind.
Read them out to me. I'll tell you if they're any good.
Okay, so
What do you got?
the Centurions,
Don't remember it. I'm sure somebody out there probably does. I'm sure it was probably pretty good.
Robotech,
Robotech, I vaguely remember. I'll tell you what, a good cartoon that may or may not be on that list, the Transformers.
It's number 2 on this list.
Yeah. Transformers was good. The only one that I think was better than the Transformers was the... Oh, God.
GoBots.
No. Oh, my God.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons
was
and
a
Dragons
show.
was phenomenal.
Really?
I love that show. I'll show it to you. I've got a few episodes of it.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I am very interested now.
They had a little unicorn baby unicorn on there that was really cute. That they really, the unicorn was the reason they wouldn't leave the fucking universe, because the wizard guy fell in love with the unicorn and furry sex.
Mhm.
No, they didn't have furry sex, but yeah, they didn't want to leave it, so they stayed.
Silverhawks.
That was a good show.
Ooh.
That was a really good show. Very sexy.
I'm
All of the
looking,
uniforms.
There's a guy wearing...
Spandex. All spandex.
It's all spandex, but one guy's wearing a 10-gallon hat.
Yep. That was a great show.
Pound Puppies.
Pound Puppies was good.
Now, this one's not even from the 80s, but I've seen episodes of this. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
God.
That's 1972.
I love
It's
Fat Albert.
out of the scope of this, but still
I
interesting.
don't care. Loved it. Such a good show. Hey.
It's Fat Albert. I almost had another heart attack. Rainbow Bright.
Yes. Strawberry Shortcake.
Yes, it's on this list too.
That was a good show.
Captain Planet of the Planeteers.
It was good. Never got too into it, though, unfortunately.
Here's actually one series that I did get into, was The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Was good. That was good.
Of course, you mentioned Gem.
Yep. And the holograms.
Danger Mouse.
I never really watched it. I kind of went over my...
It didn't grab you. You just
No.
kind of said, okay, I'll go play and do something else during this time.
I will say, and this is way before that, we're talking 60s, 50s.
Cartoons were also being played as reruns.
Mighty Mouse.
Yep, Mighty Mouse.
Was a
Yep.
great cartoon if we're going beyond the 80s.
Actually, what? Maybe for another episode we can talk more about cartoons
Just
from...
cartoons in general, all generations.
At that point, it'll just be... Actually, at that point, it'd be a whole entire episode.
So we'll just do like 40s through 70s cartoons.
Or let's actually do 40s through 50s, then 60s through 70s.
Sure.
And then we can revisit this time period, because 1980 to 1999 is the Radwood period. So at that point, we'd have to come back to this eventually. There was Danger Mouse, Robotech, Brave Star, The Littles. Now that was a fun show.
Yep, love the Littles.
The Wuzzles, which I don't remember at all being on the air when I grew up. So, Defenders of the Earth.
Yep.
Actually, that one I may have mentioned.
You did.
Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
That's funny.
This guy's legs are bigger than the rest of his... Oh, God. And this... Oh, my God! This one person looks like my boss. He's a human bowling ball. The Challenge of GoBots. The World of David the Gnome. The Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda was good.
Now, there is the Ghostbusters and
The real
Ghostbusters, yep.
The real Ghostbusters was a really good show.
So the Ghostbusters, the show just sucked.
I don't remember it. I don't think it lasted more than a season.
Probably not.
But the real Ghostbusters, none of the voice actors were the actors from the movie, but they were so good. Slimer was their pet, basically.
Aww.
It was cute. It was a good show.
Mr. T.
Yep.
Apparently there was one of Pac-Man. Then you mentioned Strawberry Shortcake.
Yep.
The Adventures of Teddy Ruxpin.
Yep.
Popples.
Vaguely remember the Popples.
Dino Riders. Ooh.
Dino's Riders, I remember.
Oh, wow. There is a Gatling gun. There are 2 Gatling guns attached to a dinosaur. Wow. For arms. That poor T-Rex has Gatling guns for arms. So his arms before were useless. Now his arms can kill, and he can never hug. How sad. Shirt Tails. Kind of odd. I never heard of that one before. Battle of the Planets.
Don't remember that.
The Mysterious Cities of Gold.
I have a good one for you. Is this on this list? Inhumanoids.
I don't think I've gotten to them yet.
Inhumanoids was a good... one of those cartoons that like scared the shit out of me, but I loved it.
Astro Boy.
Yep.
Rambo and the Forces of Freedom! The Force of Freedom! That's literally the title. That's literally the title of that show. Rambo and the Forces of Freedom, semicolon, the Force of Freedom. Which could be taken so wrong.
Yes.
Freedom is my penis.
Force the freedom right down your throat. Take it, bitch. Take it.
The Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers.
This is so 80s. You have to see
Yeah.
this. You have to.
Bionic 6.
I don't think that we'll get flagged for this because it's already it's on YouTube already anyway.
Well, the idea is that we're not making money for it.
No.
No, that's the opposite effect.
I just went the opposite effect. Sorry. This is drunk. Why? I'm hitting the wrong thing.
There it is, number 89, Inhumanoids.
Yep. There you go.
Is that a werewolf?
Humanoids, the evil that lies within. From down in the fiery depths of the earth where nightmares begin. Inhumanoids, the evil that lies within.
That is very 80s.
It's so 80s.
The stars to save the
I don't know this song.
Turbo Teen. The Spiral Zone. Mighty Orbots.
Is Jace and the Wheeled Warriors on that list?
I'm going to the next list, and if it's not the next list, I'm thinking.
Because it just came up as another recommended intro. In Humanoids, I didn't watch it on a regular basis, but I caught one episode, and it stuck. It made such an impact on me that it stuck with me even to now. There was a character in an episode, and his name was Decompose.
Decompose.
And he was literally like one of those big monsters that you see, but with the bones showing. Like the rib cage was showing, because he was decomposing. And he didn't really communicate. He only ever said his name, much like the Pokemon only ever communicate by saying their names.
Decompose.
Yeah, he would be like, decompose.
What else can you say?
Imagine
Decompose.
being 6 years old and seeing this shit on your fucking TV.
Do you want to see a Hiroshima bomb victim? There we go.
I had fucking nightmares of this shit.
Oh no.
Decomposing monsters. Decomposing animated monsters.
So isn't it like the next episode? It's just a pile of bones.
Don't even mention that because Bones scared the shit out of me.
Aww.
Remember Indiana Jones? The first one? Which, by the way, I'm sorry, George Lucas.
Raiders
changing the names of your movies. It's called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Get it right.
Period.
Yep.
Not Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's just Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You have a VHS tape that's solely Raiders of the Lost Ark.
My parents took me to see Raiders of the Lost Ark in movie theaters when I was like 11 years old. They thought it was a Disney.
Oh.
It was not.
They were sorely wrong, but
They were sorely wrong. We loved it. It was a great movie.
Okay, so it was a mistake well made.
It was a mistake well made, although it did scar me because skeletons. There's a scene where he goes down the snake pit,
It's
and
been a while since I've seen that movie.
at one point he pushes a statue. There's like all these different statues in there,
Yeah.
and he knocks over one of these huge Egyptian statues to break through a wall. And she's got this torch, and she's like, Indy, the flame is going out. And she's like trying to fend off all these snakes with this one torch.
Right.
And he breaks through the wall, and they get separated. And she's like going through the hole that he basically made. He'd already been through. And it's literally just this tomb. And there's all these skeletons. And they all just start falling out of their coffins at her. Like literally falling. And she's like catching them and pushing them back into their coffins. And the last one that she sees, like the coffin door swings open. And this huge, like, I don't want to say it's an anaconda, but very large, probably a big fat python, comes out of the mouth
Big snake.
of the skeleton and is wrapping around it. And it's just, I mean, to an 11-year-old, my God, scarred for life.
Aw.
Don't ever put skeletons in front of me. I will hide.
Aw.
Yeah, did a number on me. Your mac and cheese is getting cold.
Yeah, I'm just crunching here and there. Yeah, the list kind of...
So yeah, in Humanoids, I didn't watch it on a regular basis, probably because of that one episode of Decompose. Oh, there he is.
Alright.
Oh, and we'll just mute that. Oh, that's right. He would touch people and turn them into monsters. It's impossible. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That was once a human.
So did they ever save any of these people or no?
Yes, I think they did, but
They had to.
But that episode scarred me for fucking life. Literally just a scratch from his nail, and he turns people into monsters. Decomposing monsters.
Can I find a werewolf friend to like give me a scratch?
Oh my God!
And
Please, turn us all into werewolves.
At this point, humanity has failed us.
As long as I can find a pair of Speedos that fits all these werewolves.
You know what? If you say, "Hey, bite me," and I'll buy you as many Speedos as you want. And then the world is being overrun by werewolves, but at least, hey, they're a bit more decent because they're wearing All right. Well, I think we've had enough fun today.
I think so too. This was a great episode.
This was fun.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody.
I am Dustin. This has been Zooming Hoosk Podcast.
And I am Kurdan Sourpuss.
Decompose.
No.
Ah. We'll see you again next time, guys.
See ya.
See ya.